Today I was checking my Steam and I realized that I have played Silksong over 130 hours, which includes the attempts for the 5-hour speedrun achievement, and now it's time. I'm ready to rank all the boss fights. Before we start, I should mention that this rank is purely based on my experience and perspective. Early on, I have learned that using tools and crests can make life a lot easier in Silksong, and I will be factoring that into this ranking. One more thing before we start. We all have different skill levels, so a boss fight that is tough for me might be easy for you, and the other way around. The tier list is pretty simple, from S tier to D tier, which is very easy to follow, right? But I have added 2 extra categories. My top 5, which I will reveal in the end of the video after ranking all the boss fights, and the trash tier. Believe me, I'm putting some boss fights there. Let's start with Moss Mother. I mean, come on, it's definitely pretty easy. It's the first boss fight. I don't know if I can call it boss fight, but okay. If you are really struggling with this fight, it might be a sign that the Silksong isn't for you. I'm not saying everyone defeated her on the first try, but it's not a huge challenge and problem, so we can put it on easy tier. The next one is Bell Beast. A bit tougher than Moss Mother, but you still can manage it. It's not hard enough to move it into the next tier, so I have to place it in the easy category. Now for Lace, we face her multiple times, but the first encounter in the early game can be slightly challenging. I guess most of the early boss fights going to fall into the easy category, but let's see what's gonna happen. We put her in easy category. And now about fourth chorus. This one takes us to the next level. This fight isn't that hard for basically 2 reasons. First, the boss is pretty slow and you have enough time to react. It's mostly tanky and just take a while to defeat. Second, there is an easier method to beat it. I didn't notice it in my first playthrough, but once I figured it out, the fight became much simpler. That's why I'm placing the fourth chorus in the middle range and not anymore in easy. But now about the Splinter Sister. A Splinter Sister doesn't have much variety in her attack, and she mostly just respawns other creatures, other bugs, which can be a bit annoying, but the good news is if you use your ability wisely, the fight is pretty easy. I have to place her in the C tier, which is a bit harder than the others, but you still can manage it. Now about Morwing. Is a boss you face it in Greymore. I would put this one in the middle range, and you already know there is a way to make this fight much more easier, but even then I have to put this one in C tier. And now we are talking about Widow. I would say she is the first truly challenging boss fight. The first one that shows no mercy and has a wider variety of attacks, making her stand out as a first real test. The music and the fight itself is just too good, and for this reason we can say she is an excellent fight. It's one of my favorite ones. Now it's time for Moss Mother's double Moss Mother, I don't know how you call it, but this one comes at the point of the game when you already have enough tools and crests to make the fight much easier. For me it was pretty simple to handle it. Actually it's harder than Moss Mother, so that's why we cannot put it in easy tier, maybe mid range I would say, but it depends on you. You can even put it on easy tier because come on, you have so many tools and crests, you can beat this one pretty easy. But we go for the mid range. Now let's talk about Beastfly and Savage Beastfly. Oh hell no! I mean, the Beastfly was already annoying and it might be a bit difficult, so we have to put it on C tier. But about Savage Beastfly, I mean, come on, this one for me goes straight into the trash tier. Part of me feels like it was a lazy design. First, we were already fighting for Chorus in the same arena. Second, Savage Beastfly just keeps respawning a bunch of creatures, and that is so annoying. Silksong has so much quality content that calling it lazy feel a bit harsh. But in this specific case, it feels more annoying than creative. So I have to put it into the trash because I hate this one. Great conch flies. I would say this one is easily a mid-range. It wasn't that amazing, it wasn't that much trouble, but it's still a good fight. You might think this one goes to B category, but for me it was just a side mission to do it. So I have to put it in mid-range. And now it's more interesting. We have the last judge and the phantom. Oh hell yeah, I hate the last judge. But I believe it was a really smart design. Why I'm saying so, let me explain you. You have two different completely paths, and they mirror each other in difficulty. The path of the last judge is easier to reach, but once you get into the arena, everything changes. The last judge is brutal, fast, punishing, demanding. It feels like a gatekeeper. Like the game is asking you, are you actually ready for what's next? Are you really ready for it? The fight challenges your mastery in a very direct way. But on the other hand, we have the Phantom. Getting to Phantom is much harder. The path itself is challenging. The platforming, the pressure, the tension leading up to it. But when the fight begins, it's just manageable. It's just simple. Less punishing, and the music, oh my god, it's just awesome. The contrast is just beautiful. So I believe one path tests your combat skill at the end, and the other one tests your endurance and navigation before the end. That's the brilliance. Difficulty is redistributed. It's not about which boss is harder. It's about where the game decides to challenge you. One path punishes you in the arena, the other one punishes you in the way to it. That design makes the choice meaningful instead of cosmetic. So we can put both of them in an excellent fight, even if I hate the last judge. But come on, it was a good fight, it is challenging, and you have to show them that you deserve to keep going with the story. Clockwork Dancers, such a beautiful fight, such a nice music, and the story more than anything. This fight is just lovely. It's not really hard, so we have to put it in A tier because we just love them, they are so good. And the design of this fight was just different. That's why I love this fight. And now we have Trobbio. And where's Tormented Trobbio? Oh hell no, I don't want them anymore. In Silksong, Trobbio is one of those fights that changes depending on when you face it. On my first playthrough, Trobbio is overwhelming. It's chaotic. There is so much happening on the screen. So many colors, effects, movement, patterns. Oh no, I don't want it. The real difficulty isn't just the attacks, it's a visual overload. You lose your focus, your attention gets split, it feels like suffering. To be honest, I was suffering on this one. But in 5-hour speedrun attempt, that was completely different. Once you understand the patterns, once your brain filters out the noise, the fight becomes simple. One try, clean execution. The chaos was never randomless. And I was shocked. In the second playthrough, in the speedrun, I could hit that in the first try, and I was pretty shocked. Trobbio tests your ability to process visual information under the pressure. The fight feels harder than it actually is, because your brain is overloaded. But I have to say, it's just an excellent fight, and we love this character. Now Tormented Trobbio takes that base design and extends it. Same core attacks, but extended. Longer chains, more aggressive follow-ups, slightly shorter windows to hit. It feels like totally new boss, but it's still a good fight. With Trobbio, the challenge is confusion. With Tormented Trobbio, the challenge is the endurance. You already know the language of the fight. Now it asks, can you stay consistent when everything is extended? That's a smart design. It rewards learning without throwing away what you already mastered. Trobbio is a chaos until you understand it. Tormented Trobbio is discipline once you do, and that shifts from this is impossible to this is one try is one of the most satisfying experiences in boss design. It proves that difficulty wasn't unfair, it was just unfamiliar. And that's the difference between a bad chaos and a controlled complexity. That's why I have to put Trobbio in an excellent fight and Tormented Trobbio in an S Master class. This one is one of the hard boss fights. You might suffer on this one, so I put it in the S class. Now about Garmon and Zaza. This is again something that make it easier if you use your tools. That's why it's not so hard. At this point of the game you have so many tools, so many crests, you can use them and make this boss fight pretty easy. That's why I put this fight in a C tier. The same rule applies to Unraveled. This one is pretty easy. If you use your tools, it's such an easy fight, you can beat it in a second. Not a second, but you know what I mean, it's pretty easy, come on. Now about Four Brothers. Honestly, I didn't have any problem with this fight. It was just maybe 2 tries. But I know that some people doesn't like this one, is just suffering. It might be a bit hard, but I think this one goes to B tier. It deserves it, come on. It's not that easy, it's not that hard, so we can put it in a solid good fight. Disgrace Chef, whatever it is, I don't like this one. I was just like, why do we have something like this? So I don't want to waste my time. Trash. Father of the Flame, it's a mid-range, it's not that easy, and again you can use your tools and make your life easier, so we can put it on C tier. Now it's time for the Growl the Great. Can we just remove the Great from the name? It's going to the trash tier, just like that. The fight itself isn't that hard. The problem is the run back, it's just annoying, healing can be awkward. And once again it's respawning bunch of other bugs and creature which we hated. Even if you disagree with me on other rankings, please let's just agree on this one. Wolverms. This one was an easy fight for me. Again I used my tools and that was it. The run back, maybe it's a bit difficult, maybe not. I don't want to put it in mid range because it was really easy, come on. And the Raging Conchfly, we fought this once. We know the pattern, so it wasn't that hard. But it's also not too easy, so we can put this in the C tier. And now it's time for the first Sinner. Oh hell yeah, this is something. This one is a perfect combination of everything a boss fight should demand from you. It forces constant dodging, not panic dodging, and all the attacks are fast, aggressive and relentless. You don't get long damage windows. You earn short, risky opening, 1 or 2 hits. Then you are back on defense. The rhythm creates tension in entire time. This fight isn't there to test you casually. It feels like it's there to kill you for real. And then there is a psychological layer. When you see someone chained or imprisoned, it's usually pity. You think, what did they do? Maybe they don't deserve this, but first Sinner, the energy flips. The moment the fight begins, it feels justified. This is not a misunderstood prisoner. This is something dangerous. Something contained for a reason. This fight is powerful. The visual storytelling sets an expectation. The combat destroys it. Emotionally heavy, visually symbolic. The first Sinner doesn't just challenge your reflexes, it challenges your assumptions. That's why it deserves a place at the top. I would say this is a S tier. It might be very challenging, and I know some people are saying you might be crazy. This is an easy fight, but I know some people are struggling with this one. Brood Mother, trash, I'm sorry. We don't spend time on this one. It's just a trash. I don't like it. There is no reason for it. We just put it there. I don't see any other place for Brood Mother. Second Sentinel. It's a solid fight. Pretty fast. Enough different type of attacks. And it's just fun. I like it. I would say it's a solid fight. We go for it. Now about Dear Chakra. At the beginning we were thinking that Chakra is our first enemy, but no, it's a true friend. And in the end we can challenge it. And it was fun. I can say it's a solid fight, B tier. Now we have two interesting boss fights to talk about it. Lace 2 for the second time that we face it. The first fight feels just like almost merciful. She tested you, but she held back. There was a restraint. In Lace 2 that restraint is gone. This is her showing her true power. The atmosphere immediately set the stage. The arena is just beautiful, almost elegant. The visual design combined with the music creates a dramatic scene of importance. It doesn't feel like a random boss. It feels personal. She is pretty fast and aggressive. Her attacks demand sharp reactions. You don't get a comfortable spacing. You don't get long breaks. She understands your movement patterns. When you dodge away, she already covering that angle. When you try to create a distance, she closes instantly. The pressure makes the fight intelligent, not chaotic, controlled. Lace 2 isn't just hard. It feels like a duel between equals where every mistake is punished and every success feels earned. This is where Lace proves she wasn't just an early game rival, she is serious now. And the fight makes that clear in every second of combat. And this one deserves a masterclass, S tier. But on the other hand, right after Lace 2, we can fight the Grandmother Silk. And I was surprised by this one. This one was too easy. Almost disappointed. But in reality, that's not truly the end. There is still an Act 3. And for me, this was just a first try. And sadly for this reason, I have to put this in the easy tier. There are a few boss fights for me which are going to fall into the B category, the B tier, and I think we don't need to talk about it that much. Those are side missions actually, but they are pretty solid, I like them. For example, Bell Eater is one of those that can fall into the solid category because it's pretty not easy. Pretty not easy is the word? Okay, let's say it. It's not that easy, it's not very hard. You can manage it. I can put it in the solid category. Same as Lost Garmond. This one falls into the B category. We know why is that hard. It's not the Garmond itself, it's because of the void attack. That makes this boss fight a bit more difficult, but I think this is still a solid fight. Crowfather. Actually, this one was pretty easy for me because I was using bunch of tools, but I can understand if you put this into the C or even B category. I don't know, I'm not sure which one. For me it was pretty easy. First I went there, I died and I said okay, I have to change my crest and I have to use my tools, and then this boss fight became too easy for me. And I did it very late actually. I had all the upgrades. That's why is this boss fight for me very easy. But if you disagree, we can put it into the C tier. What do you say? I guess D tier is fair enough. Watcher at the Edge is one of those that looks easy at the beginning, but it's a bit harder than you think. So I believe it deserves a B tier, but at the same time is not that complicated. That's we go for the B tier. Clover Dancers. We fought this one once, so we know the pattern. If the cookbook dancers fall into the A excellent, this one is not that hard because we know the pattern about it, so I can just put it in the B tier. Palestad, and it's in the Verdania. The place is amazing, we love Verdania, the atmosphere is pretty nice, we love it, but this one itself wasn't that hard for me. Again, I'm saying it, maybe you're getting crazy, using your tools and crests, that's gonna make this one pretty easy. Now about Pinterest and Shrine Guardian set. Both of them for me, those are not that easy. Those are not a mid-range I would say, but those are a solid fight. I can put them both there. They are just fun to fight. You might asking me what about the last Lace? We already know the answer, this one goes to the masterclass. She has an insane number of movements, not just fast version of the old attacks, entire new patterns on top of what you already learned. The fight doesn't rely on one gimmick, it keeps evolving. Just when you adapt, she shifts again. There are more than enough phases to make it feel like a real final boss. Each phase raises the intensity without feeling random. This fight demands everything: precision, dodging, fast reaction, clean positioning, and confidence during tiny damage window. You don't just survive it, you endure it. And that's why she gives true end boss energy. The final boss fight should be exactly like this. She is like a true unlimited power. If someone tells you this is the true ending fight, it would make a perfect sense. There are for sure a few more, we are going to do it pretty fast. Gore the Outcast. This one we know is a great warrior. I would say it might be a bit challenging, but it's not that hard. We can put it in mid or let's say B. It deserves a B. Tyrant was a pretty easy boss fight. Maybe some are saying it's a trash. I don't know, it wasn't that annoying, so I can put it in the easy one. Zango is a pretty easy one if you use your tools. Not a big discussion, it's easy. I know it's a bit tanky, you might lose once, but if you use your tools and abilities, this one is going to be really easy. Cross King Khan. This one is a bit more complicated. The boss fight itself, it's not that hard, but the whole arena that you have to go through it. There are multiple stages that you have to fight before reaching this boss fight. If I want to consider all of them together, it might be an excellent one, but you don't enjoy this fight, it's a bit suffering. But the whole arena and the whole process is going to be A. It's a bit difficult. It's not that easy. Now we have 3 more that we can put it easily in easy tier. Maybe you disagree with me, just let me know in the comment. I would love to discuss with you, let me know what you think. Now let's talk about Carmelita. What an artistic fight, the presentation, the rhythm, the whole atmosphere. I was honestly afraid of this fight. It looks overwhelming, but once you understand the patterns and the flow, it becomes manageable. It rewards learning instead of punishing you randomly. And that's the sweet spot of a good boss design. This one goes to a S tier and it's pretty tricky, you need to be careful about Carmelita. And Nylef, this one was very easy for me. I was afraid of this one too, but once I faced it, it was really one try. My first try, that's it. So that's why I have to put it in easy tier. And I'm sorry, it was a mistake. Gore the Outcast is this one and not that one. So this one is go to a B tier. Now we are ending the video with top 5s, but please consider it. If you like the video, like and subscribe. And don't forget to put the comments that we know what you think about my rankings. My number 1 is for sure First Sinner. I love this boss fight. Maybe you think I'm crazy, but this one is crazy. I love it. My number 2 is Lace 2. It's obvious. This one is amazing. The arena looks so good, the music matches perfectly. I love this boss fight. And the other one is for sure Phantom. You know why. I don't think there is anyone who says I don't like Phantom. And my top 5 has actually no logic. I just love them. There is no other reason for that. Number 4 is Cockbook Dancers. This fight is amazing. It's easy. It's not suffering and you can really enjoy this one. About the last one, it was a bit complicated. I have 3 options: Lost Lace, Carmelita, and the Widow. I mean, I said top 5, but I would put them all in the one rank as the last one. I don't know. Lost Lace is challenging. I can put it S tier. Carmelita is fun, but I can say Widow is the number 5. I'm in doubt between those 3, but this is what it is. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.